Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. I have a request for a scenario that is based off of an anime that I don't really know much of anything about, so this is going to be blind and fun. I don't even know if I can actually spell this, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in there. It is Hinamizawa syndrome, or however you say that. Hinamizawa? The exact place to put the accent on a vowel in Japanese has always been a little confusing to me. It's never quite where I expect it to be. There's a rule there, but I don't know what it is. There it is. So this is based off of an anime called Higurashi no Nakukura ni, apparently, which I think translates to When They Cry, or something like that in English. I know it is a murder mystery anime, and that is the absolute extent of my knowledge. And I'm not even convinced that I'm right on that point. I'm like 50% sure. A new mutated strain of Hinamizawa syndrome, a rare but devastating disease, has been discovered in Japan. It could have the possibility of becoming the next great pandemic. All right, let's give it a shot. It is a bacteria type, ATP boost, Darwinist, aquatic chemophile, and symptostasis, normal difficulty. Hinamizawa syndrome, starting in Japan, of course. Prepare for paranoia incarnate. It is a disease that causes mass amounts of paranoia and aggression in its hosts. There are 5 stages of terror. 1, harmless. 2, mostly harmless. 3, pretty harmful. I don't know. Mental and emotional instability. 4, paranoia. 5, insanity. All right, well, let's start with harmless, then mostly harmless. I mean, we don't want to jump straight to insanity, do we? Yes, I do. That'd be kind of fun. Transmissions. We start off with blood. Gives the organism the ability to spread through blood-to-blood contact. Not really useful starting in Japan, because we are not in a poor region. What we really want is water, because we're starting on an island nation. We'll want air as well. Anything that can get me off of the island is going to be better. Gives pathogen the ability to travel on dust particles, blah, blah, blah. War on water, blah, blah, blah. Nothing you customize in here. Okay. Symptoms. Itching. Host scratches the skin every once in a while. Scratch my skin. So what is wrong with another sin? That was terrible. Insomnia. Inability to sleep makes people irritable and less productive. All right, yes. Between a lack of sleep and itchy skin, I can see why people would start to become a little bit paranoid and eventually insane. We did start off with stage 1. Hinamizawa syndrome is in stage 1, harmless. So I guess we do actually just progress down the list. And I'm guessing that that's going to unlock more severe symptoms as time goes on. So that actually is a good way of stopping mutation chance from becoming a liability, I suppose. If you don't want it to become even a little bit harmful, you just don't go to mostly harmless. Let's go ahead and grab some of that air transmission. Now, whoa! I'm sorry, we've been playing for like a week and we've already got 5 million people infected? Japan is incredibly susceptible to paranoia and insanity. Turns out, who would have thought? Let's go for the insomnia and the itching 2, scratches the skin even more. Itching 3, scratches enough to draw blood, causes major infectivity and a severity boost. Since we're getting around so dang fast, I kind of would be remiss not to get the severity this early on, because that's a lot of extra DNA we're going to miss out on. Normally I have time to ramp that up. We have so much infectivity in Japan that we're already getting all over the world. We'll go ahead and pick up some extra air and water transmission just to make sure I can get around quickly enough. But it looks like we're not going to need much help in terms of infectivity. In fact, we're at a point where I'm not even sure why insects and blood are even a thing. Like, why bother? I mean, I appreciate when people want to give you a slight leg up when you start in a rich nation like Japan, because it can be incredibly frustrating. On the other hand, may have overdone it a little bit. I'm hoping that there's still going to be a challenge by going into other places. Let's grab a level of heat and cold resistance so that we can spread a little bit more effectively in all climates. Since we started in Japan, and I don't think that qualifies as either hot or cold. We have bacterial evolution as well. The bacterial shell is practically impregnable, further increasing bacteria survivability in all climates. Interesting, so we actually reduce the number of resistances here. I still probably want to get at least... You know, I don't even know if we need any drug resistance. We'll get it anyway. But I don't even think we need it. We're so freaking infective. The whole world is apparently incredibly susceptible to insanity, especially the West. Oh, this is hilarious. Wait a minute. So we've been in China for far longer than we have been in the United States, but China has not gone insane. The United States and Canada, however, have. Look at the red, and tell me that isn't what is considered the stereotypical Western developed world right there. That's interesting. How do we make that work? Cool. All right. We're going to go for mostly harmless. And that unlocked nothing. Okay, we're going to go for mental and emotional instability. That didn't do anything. Uh-oh. Well, apparently, though, I'm able to get all over the world because all people who have emotional distress are drawn to this. I guess it's a disease. I was going to say anime, but that isn't quite correct. Do we want to go for paranoia? We'll go for level genetic hardening and paranoia. Why not? Okay, let's go for the bacterial evolution. I'm starting to see, by the way, why the insects and the blood exist here. It's because those are the only kinds of countries that are not easy to infect. We appear to be outrageously effective in wealthy countries. Poor countries and hot countries, not so much. So insects actually makes a little bit of sense now to exist. In fact, I'm tempting going for another one, but I think we'll hold off for now. Oh, there we go. Wait, do we need... I don't know. I actually didn't check. Did stage 4 unlock this? Or do we have to get some transmissions for that to work? I'm not sure. Formication. Hosts believe they have insects or maggots crawling under their skin. Increases severity and lethality. Ugh. Ugh. I think you did need to get some insect transmission to unlock that. That's not the gating mechanism I think I was expecting. Footsteps of OYASHERO-SAMA. OYASHERO-SAMA. I don't speak a Japanese. I don't. Hosts believe they hear the sound of the god of Hinamizawa, OYASHERO-SAMA's footsteps. Raises severity and slight increase to lethality. We'll pick that up. Hallucinations. Occipital lesions. Appears to be the standard description there. Not sure we want to go for insanity quite yet. Let's make sure that we spread a little bit faster in places like Africa. I am going to go for some extra blood and insect transmission simply because we are struggling a little bit. There's the hallucinations, whether I like it or not, but that's not too bad to deal with. Global research is now focusing on a cure. Well, they're not going that fast. Formication. All right, mutation chance is going to carry me to victory, apparently, whether I like it or not. Interesting that the extreme bioaerosol and whatever this is blocked off from me. Maybe we have to go for stage 5? I'm not going to pick that up until I feel like I hit a little bit more of a critical mass in Morocco. Okay, I feel like we hit a little bit of a critical mass in Morocco. Stage 5! Now we have reached the insanity and mass murder stage. That leads to actual insanity. Harder to cure. Ba-boom! Indiscriminate slaughter! The host is driven to go on a mass killing spree upon being driven insane. That's terrible. Suicide. Host is driven to suicide via clawing open their throat due to the sensation of formication. I mean, there are people who have, like, sensations of maggots and other creatures, ants and stuff, on their skin. Now, you really have to think about how absolutely horrifying that is. No healthy people left in the world. All right, well, there'll be no living people soon enough. Necrosis. Large swaths of infected tissue lose blood supply and become fatal sources of gangrene. I'm not sure that does anything for us, considering by the time you get to this point, probably the entire world is infected because it's that easy to infect people. But we'll pick it up anyway for the extra lethality. Well, that is incredibly effective. Is this in any way true to the anime? I don't know. Maybe, but then maybe not. People down in the comment section who are familiar with the source material will have to tell me. Is this actually the source of it? Was the whole point? I thought it was a murder mystery. But apparently it's just a disease that makes you paranoid and go crazy. I just think it's hilarious that the West and the rich countries of the world are so incredibly susceptible. That is funny. It's all that social media nonsense, guys. Not that the rest of the world doesn't have access to that either, but you know what I mean. And the West is obsessed with it. But I digress. Think that's going to be 327 days, 35% progress, 74,215 points and 3 stars because that was remarkably fast. All right. I mean, it's a little quick and it's a little bit easy, and I don't know anything about the source material, so I have no idea if it's any good. But thank you for sending it my way anyway. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.